Hey, Dan Cuccinillo here with NorCal Sports Network. And today we're going to talk about Vladdy Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays. And the question of the day is, should the Blue Jays consider trading Vladdy? Well, before we get into that, let us thank our sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, check them out in the description of this video. Hey, everybody, if you would just give this a like and subscribe to this, we would really appreciate that. It means a lot to the channel's growth. Hope you enjoy this video. All right, guys. Vladdy Guerrero Jr., should the Jays trade him? Well, it depends on what you want to accomplish, I guess. And if you think you can compete in the 25 season, maybe you hold on to Vladdy until the trade deadline, see where you're at. And then if you're not in it, you look to trade him. The other option is trading him in the off season because you'll get more for him than you would if you waited till just a couple months before the season's end. You're not going to get but maybe one player for Vladdy, and you might get a top 100 prospect for Vladdy at the trade deadline. But right now, you can restock your team. If you look what the San Diego Padres did when they traded Juan Soto to the Yankees, they got the key part of that deal was right-handed pitcher Michael King. They also got another pitcher, Johnny Brito. They got catcher Kyle Higashioka, however you pronounce Kyle. I always mispronounce that guy's name. But anyway, catcher for the Padres now, I believe he signed with Texas already, if I'm not mistaken. They also got Drew Thorpe, the Yankees' number 5 prospect, and right-handed pitcher Randy Vasquez. So they got their Yankees' number 13 prospect at the time. And the Padres gave up, obviously, Juan Soto. They also got Trent Grisham in that deal. Now, if you look on the other hand, when the Washington Nationals traded Soto, they traded him with a couple of years, 2.5 years of time left to San Diego. So they got even a bigger haul. And why did the Nationals trade Soto? Because they offered him a monster contract of, I believe it was $440 million over 13 years, something like that. Don't remember the years exactly, and if my figures are exactly right, but they're close. Anyway, Soto turned it down. When he turned it down, I said, you got to trade him because he's not going to sign with you. He's going to test free agency. And that was with 2.5 years remaining. So the Nationals got a haul for Juan Soto. They gave up Soto and Josh Bell in that deal, but the Nationals got back C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, James Wood, 3. I mean, Abrams and Wood are everyday players. And then they also got Robert Hassel III, who was actually one of the key parts of that trade. He hasn't panned out yet. And they also got Luke Voigt and Harleen Susana, a right-handed pitcher, which we haven't heard much from yet either. But that was a big haul for, I think James Wood is going to be the best player in that deal. That guy can rake. And of course, C.J. Abrams is an excellent player himself. So to me, I would trade Vladdy right now because, well, let me see how the offseason goes first. Let me point that out. Let me see exactly what the Blue Jays do the rest of this offseason. They missed out on Juan Soto. They were going heavy for him. Do they use that money pivot? Do they sign a Corbin Burns? Do they add a couple more pieces? The Blue Jays, if they add a couple of pieces to their starting rotation, a couple of pieces in the field, maybe you hold on to Vladdy and give it one last shot because they want to win. But if they can't land some pieces that make them a very, very competitive team, I think you have to move off of Vladdy Jr. because I just don't think you're going to compete. If you can't add, you're not going to compete in, not let alone in the American League, just in your division. You got the Yankees who are going to reload. You got the Orioles coming back. The Red Sox look like they're improving. So are you going to battle the bottom with with Tampa? I mean, and then of course, just to get into the playoffs, you got other teams to fight. So I think it would make more sense if the Blue Jays do not add valuable pieces this offseason in free agency or through trades, that they look to go ahead and trade Vladdy while they can get a pretty good return for him. Vladdy had an unbelievable year last year. If you look at it was a monster year. He's coming off of 30 home runs. I believe 30 home runs, drove in 103 runs, hit 323, on base percentage of almost 400, had an OPS plus of 166 and an OPS of 940. An amazing year for Vladdy. So right now, his stocks is probably as high as it's ever going to be for the Blue Jays purposes of getting any kind of return. So, hey guys, I'm wearing the Montreal Expos hat in honor of Vladdy Sr. Take a look at Vladdy Sr. in his day with the Montreal Expos. What a hitter that guy was, and a rocket arm, a cannon in the outfield there. I love these old pics of the Blue Jays. And these are their newer hats. I've got the original Montreal Expos hat that I'm wearing. But you look at Vladdy there. Look at him winding up out there in right field. Just a cannon that guy had. Loved watching Vladdy Guerrero Sr. play ball. But I thought I'd throw on the Expos hat for this video with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So I think it is something that they need to look at doing, is definitely, again, taking into consideration what the Yankees got for Juan Soto. Now, Guerrero's not at Juan Soto's status. He's not going to probably get you as much, but you should be able to get some valuable pieces. Look what the Cubs were able to, or the Astros were able to get for Kyle Tucker. 3 pretty good pieces for 1 year of Kyle Tucker before he hits free agency. So next year, the big free agents are Kyle Tucker and Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Vladdy Guerrero Jr. So those are the guys that are going to hit the market. And the Blue Jays are going to come up with nothing, but maybe, qualifying offer, get some a couple of picks, but those, who knows if those pan out. So we'll see what the Blue Jays do in the offseason. If they somehow get Burns, I don't think they're going to trade Vladdy. If they come up empty with nothing concrete, that isn't earth-shaking in free agency, I would think Vladdy would get dealt sometime in February, right before spring training, or maybe even early in spring training. I could see that happening. We'll see how the Blue Jays do. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Give us your comments down below in the YouTube section of the comments. Let us know what you think. Do you think the Blue Jays should trade Vladdy? Where would he end up? I have no idea what team would take him, but let's say the Mets don't land on Alonso. Maybe Steve Cohen trades a couple pieces for him, gets Vladdy in there at the Mets, and then he can afford to pay him, keep him from leaving in free agency. So that's a possibility. Giants, they could use a Vladdy Guerrero. A lot of teams could use a Vladdy Guerrero. Tell me where you think he goes if the Blue Jays trade him. Let me know if you think they should trade him. Tell us what you think of this video. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate that. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.